this video, I'm going to be showing you how to have a custom primary and secondary fire. Now, one way you can do this, and the way that I'm doing it right now, is to go into the settings, go into the heroes, select the hero you're changing, such as Reaper. Set primary fire to disable. If they have a secondary fire, set that to disable as well. Then go in your workshop. So then primary fire. Set ongoing each player with Reaper. Check is the button held by the player, button being the primary fire button. Is that true? So that means whenever you're trying to use your primary fire. Now for the way that I have it, deals damage in front of you within a angle range, which I did with damage players in radius with the center at the event player. The radius would be the angle difference, with the angle being a dot product of the direction you're facing times 1 and well as 10, which means it'll take whatever direction that you're facing and extend it out by 10 degrees from wherever your crosshair is facing. Damages the opposing team of the event player. Check on surfaces, enemy barriers, all barriers, whatever you want for your primary fire. Damage by the event player, and then how much you want it to damage. And then I have set player variable P, and I chose P just so I could remember that it's for primary fire, to add position of the event player and vector of 1 in the Y direction. And then to have the primary fire be visible, I have play effect visible to all players on all teams, the effect being a bad explosion. Choose the color. Position will be add the variable we just defined and multiply by the direction you're facing in, and then how far it's going to be with each instance of it. So if you're doing it like with these bad explosions, you'll have to just keep doing this command for as far of a range as your primary fire will have, which was set to be 10, so we'll have to repeat this for a while. And then for the radius of this bad explosion, did the quick math to figure out what the radius would have to be at each instance of it. So as you can see, it's set at distance of 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And then for a secondary fire, set to ongoing each player, the character. And then for this one, I had it be a cooldown, similar to how Soldier 76's Helix rockets are on a right click and a cooldown. So is the secondary fire button held down, and is the cooldown cooled down? Set the variable that will be the cooldown timer to the cooldown. Destroy the text saying that it's off cooldown. And then for this character, it damages everyone in a radius as well as burns them. So for that, damage players in radius, add event player with a radius of 3. The people damaged being people on the opposing team of the event player. And then check it on surfaces and barriers damaged by event player, and then how much it damages. And then to have the burning effect, set status of players within radius at the event player, radius of 3, status affecting the opposing team of event player, check on surfaces and barriers. The event player is the one that causes it, and the status will be burning. It'll have a duration of 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, you'd want to set it to start damaging them over time, and it damages players within the radius at the event player, radius of 3. Basically just a repeat of the last one. You have your duration and how much damage it does per second. So in total, this secondary fire will have an initial damage of 50 and then a sustained damage of 25, making it a total of 75 damage. Along with that, just to make it visible, I have create effect visible to all players on all teams, which will be a blue cloud at the vent player, the radius of 3, just like the radius of damage. And then it'll wait 5 seconds while all that is going on, and then it'll stop damage over time, and it'll destroy the last created effect, which was the cloud. Then it creates HUD text visible to the player that says right, indicating right click for secondary fire at the right, and this is just where it's located.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
So as you can see in the top right corner, the right is written there to show that it's available for use. And if I right click all the blue cloud around me, and when I get in range of the opponent, I'll show the damage as well as the burning. So you can see it started off, and now On is on fire, taking damage. And now I'll show off the primary fire, which currently have set so that every other instance of the bad explosion changes colors between red and white, just so it's easier to see what's where, and it expands a little bit with each instance of it. I also saw that it took 2 shots still to take out Anna, because the first explosion took 75, then another 75 is still less than the amount of health that she has, so we need a little more to finish her off. Now if your primary and secondary fire are similar enough to the primary and secondary of a hero already existing, you could go to the rule for it, well, you could go up here first and set the damage from the primary to 0, and then in here you could set whatever damage you want for it, as well as adding a weight, kind of like the cooldown in the secondary, to dictate how long it takes for each fire if you want to adjust that. But you can do a lot more if you do it like I did here, because otherwise you're depending on what they have available already, and it gives you less that you can do with it. So for this one, thank you for watching.